they are like, when I'm tipsy, I feel good. Like I feel I can reach my dreams when I'm tipsy.
Can say anything to anybody.
They feel that they can reach their dreams. They feel like king or a queen or like whatever they imagine. So, but that will be for just a while. When it leaves you, you have the hangover. You get the effects of it on your life. Yeah. So it's never good.
Yeah, something came to mind about the effects on the society. You know, a lot of these vices that are going on, some are also influenced by addictions. Exactly. The person doesn't just drink, but they drink and they are so high, like you're saying,
they
and
consume a lot.
They are doing anything. People go to do this armed robbery, they are raping people around. Sometimes it is not that they do it and then they are influenced a lot by the things that they have taken.
Just like I mentioned earlier, you see, consuming large amounts of alcohol and hard drugs, okay, it makes you have poor judgment, okay? It makes you insensitive, and you become even self-centered. So you see, they feel that when they have it, they feel good and they reach their dreams, okay? So at that point, you are thinking of only yourself. So when you are high with drugs, you don't care when you are hurting somebody, or basically you don't see the other person as a human being, but you feel that you own the world, or everybody else is an object, and you can
you're the only human.
Yes, you can use the objects to satisfy your desires.
Wow. Then that's very powerful. So we have to break the cycle. The cycle has to be broken at all costs because it is not helping. How do we do this?
Okay. Well, in the family, such people have to be shown love, affection, and care. You see, basically, it's something they are doing that they themselves are not comfortable. They wish they can stop, but they are not able to stop. So you have to show them that you love them and you care for them, and you are ready to support them, so that they don't do it in hiding, especially in the family. Some of them do it in hiding. Your wife may be drinking and you will never know. Your husband may be drinking and you will never know. So when you are aware, it is not about attacking them. You cannot attack addiction, but you can show them love to help them go out of it. We can take them to rehab. Then we can have sensitization by media houses and by volunteers. Then we can also talk to them by counseling. Okay.
So in your school, if a child happens to come with such a complaint to you, what do you do? Like maybe daddy is drinking too much, or these days the children that are around, they are no more children.
They can say things.
So if they happen to come to you with something and you find this interesting, it could be an addiction in the family. What approach will you take as the director of the school?
Okay, so when you find out from the child, okay, so what do you see? Is it good? Okay, so when your parent drink, how does he react? Are you okay with the reaction? Is it something you want to do? So these children can say things, and they can tell you that usually addictions will definitely result in bad attitudes. So they will tell you all the bad, and you are able to educate them there and then that it is no good to give it a try. Then we can go ahead to invite the parents, especially the one who is not doing it, and interrogate if the person is aware that the other spouse is doing that, and we together find a way that we can help, or even separate the child from the action, prevent the child from seeing that such things happen. Okay.
So if a child brings daddy's cigarette, the pieces of daddy's cigarette to school to show to their friends, innocently the child thinks that, oh, this is a new thing on. How do you also preserve the other children? And how do you explain to them that this is something that could be bad eventually?
To show to the other children, it's difficult for it to happen though, because early in the morning we check their bags.
Okay.
We check their pockets before they are allowed into the classroom. So
what are you suspecting them
to
have brought?
It's not suspicion, okay, but we want to train them, okay, because they will grow up into the society. There are some businesses that I used to work at Cadbury here. You go there, they check you before you enter. So we are training them. Then aside that, they are kids, like you said, they might have brought something innocently without knowing that it is bad. And when we close to, we check their bags. Not that we are suspecting anything, but we just want to give them the training out there.
Because I've heard before that one child asked their daddy to buy him exercise book or textbook for school. And then the daddy, whether he knew or not, gave the child pornographic material to take to school. And so whether this child knows it or not, well, daddy has given it to me. And so so that we all enjoy it. So then I think it's a good practice. What you are doing is good, so that they don't sneak things in. But I also think that you do it in love, so that
yes,
whatever they even sneak in.
No. You see, they won't. You see, if it should happen, like I said, it won't happen. But then, even if it should happen, you see, there's no point in trying to cover things with these new age kind of children. You have to be transparent and open with them. So when they bring such things, you can let them know, okay, so you know what this is. Maybe they know, maybe even if they don't know, you tell them, okay, so this is it, but this is what it is used for. It is not good, and you do not have to go to it. And yes, we do it in love. Okay, so we are guided by the story of the teacher who somebody stole somebody's item in the class, and the teacher was, who has stolen it? Nobody came out. The teacher said, okay, so everybody close your eyes. Then the teacher went around, looked and found the item and gave it to the person. Okay, so years later, the teacher never mentioned it. The one who took it never said anything to the teacher. The teacher never said anything to him. So years later, at a function, he met the teacher and he was so happy. And you saved my dignity, you saved my image. So the teacher was like, what happened? And he was like, oh, sir, you can't tell me you have forgotten. You haven't forgotten. He said, oh, what are you talking about? He said, I was the one who stole. You stole? I didn't know you are the one. Oh, sir, you know I was the one. And he said, oh, no, I didn't know. The reason is when I was looking for the item, I also closed my eyes.
So I don't even know whose bag I picked it from. Wow.
He actually said them. He doesn't know. You hold your bag with his eyes closed. He searches you and he searches. So yes, we do it in love, and we are not there to bruise their ego. Yes.
Okay. All right. Very wonderful submissions.
So it goes back to addiction. That when you want to help people with addiction, you do not have to rub it in their face to bruise their ego. Already, they are doing it to satisfy a situation. Then you want to attack. Then you won't be successful at it. So you have to really do it in love to succeed.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So we have established that to break this, we need to do it in love.
Yes.
And then it is not a matter of shouting, like I remember you said that you don't attack addictions. So you accept them, and then you can change them. Okay. So how the people who are addicted, now they want to change. After the changing process, how do they organize their lives? Because you hear of people who were millionaires. They became paupers because they spent all their monies on hard drugs. And now they are left with nothing. People are alcoholic. They've lost their marriages, homes. But they've actually stopped now. So how do they organize themselves now?
Being responsible for your actions include that you accept the consequences. Okay. So if you feel that you have indulged in an improper action and you feel that you are regretful about it, then not just that you are regretful, but you're ready to accept the consequences that come with it. So yes, you were into addiction, you have stopped, but you can't stop. You can't eat your cake and have it, so you can't stop and go back to where you started from. Okay. So accept that this is where you are and start from there. Now, nothing is new in this earth.
Yeah.
Men and Abeka said, they new never poetry.
And
nobody can get to the ends of the sea.
Yeah.
To be new, it was as so your situation where you have gotten to is not new. And others were there and they put themselves together and they have made it again. So put yourself together, put the shyness away, accept that this is where I have gotten to. I don't mind what people will say. I don't mind how the society will look at me. It is about what will happen tomorrow. You see, you were addicted. You have become a pauper. Now you have stopped. You are poor today. They will ridicule you. But when you make it tomorrow, they will forget that you were addicted and you became a pauper. Okay, so life is always about tomorrow and not yesterday or today. Yes.
Okay, it takes a lot of effort for you to just accept that. Saying I'm ready to start
That is
all over again.
Yes, that is why such ones have to go through counseling and therapy. Yes,
Okay.
Psychological help, even psychiatric help and all that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Viewers, we are still discussing addiction. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back after this break.
We steal from people who steal from us.
African Movies on Adwa TV comes your way with great movies from your favorite stars.
Any amount you want, I'll pay.
Are you cheating? No! How could I?
Majid Michelle, Mercy Johnson, Lil Wayne, Jackie Appiah, and many more.
Can't you follow my footsteps? Hey! Look at you, what is wrong with you?
We are following your footsteps.
Enjoy exciting latest African movies full of drama, romance, action, comedy, and so much more only on Adwa TV African Movies. Adwa TV, bringing good things to life.
For the best of educative, informative and entertaining kids show in the areas of choreography, reading connect, craft work, singing and dancing, join me Nanyama Collising on Kids House. This is an every Saturday noon only on Adwa TV.
Viewers, if you just tuned in, we are still discussing addictions, managing addictions in our family. Okay, Miss Sark.
Yes,
you are doing very well. I like your submissions.
Thank you.
Okay, so before we went on the break, we were trying to help people organize their lives after their addiction. But we realized that some of them relapse. Why? What do you think would make somebody... Sometimes they can stop for years.
So yes, addiction is chronic. Addiction is chronic. You don't do it all your life. Yes, you do. You break. You go back. That is what makes it an addiction.
Okay.
So yes, even when they try to seek help, get treatment, sometimes they relapse. It's part of it, but they can still
move on.
Yes, okay. and come out successfully.
Okay.
Yes.
Then I think that those who know what they are addicted to, for instance, if you are addicted to cocaine or to marijuana, and then you cut yourself away from the people that you usually hang out with to do that.
So you see, in the treatment of the addiction, you see, usually those addicted can't do it alone. Yes, usually, yes, it can be a family, it can be volunteers, a rehab institution. Okay, so you ensure that you separate them from their source of addiction. Okay, so sometimes you can put them away from, if it's friends, from the friends.
Okay.
For instance, look at those in prison because of hard drugs and all that. You see, if you watch Crime Check, the presenter is like, okay, so you've been here for how many months? Maybe 6 months. Have you had a taste of the hard drug? No. Are you dead? Then they're like, no. So you see, when they have access, it means they feel that they can't live without. But when there is no access, they live.
Okay.
So one of the ways of curbing addiction is to make it inaccessible, and you can even increase price of it.
Okay.
Yes, you can increase price.
Okay.
Yes. So one of the ways that the government can use to check alcohol or any other is to increase
their prices
so that people cannot easily afford. Yes.
Okay. All right. So that is in Ghana we don't have very plenty formalized institutions like rehab centers. We can have some at the psychiatric hospitals, and then maybe more people should get into private rehabilitations. So we just do it on the people are just taken back to the community because there's no means to keep the people for too long a time.
Yes.
So the advice that I can also add is that if you know you have been an alcoholic before, you don't tempt yourself that because I'm say
No. Yes.
because we are still in the same neighborhood. If you can afford to move out of the neighborhood,
yes,
that's fine.
You have to move out of the neighborhood. You can live in a community where you are checked. Okay, sometimes when you know that you are being checked, you're accountable to somebody. You don't really want to go back to it because those people are watching you. So you can actually also ask people to be a check on you.
Okay.
You'll be able to do it.
Okay. So one of the major things that helps in that addiction breaking is to break the silence, like you said. When somebody knows that you are masturbating, at least you would think that me question who you. But if nobody knows about it,
so usually they hide though.
Yes.
Usually they hide.
They will hide, but once they accept that they want to break it, I think the first step is to break the silence.
Yes,
and
break
then,
the
like
silence.
You said,
make it known.
Let somebody be in check so that somebody can
let the person know when you go back to that. What actually makes you go to it? Is it when you are broke?
Okay.
Is it when you are stressed with work? Whatever that is, the underlying factor, you have to make it known. Then you can.
And if somebody has made you the check, you don't rub it in the person's face. Or I don't mean show almost a kakra. Yes,
You see, so such people, you have to actually always encourage them and paint a beautiful future for them. Okay, give them a reason to stop. Okay, so you see, this thing that you are doing, this is how your end is going to be like. Okay, so how about you stopping totally and having your beautiful family around you? So you create a beautiful future for them to always look up to and to be able to stop.
Okay, so there's a lot of stigma with addiction, and the wujai crampa as a tag no papa we na no no and it is always with you. So how do we deal with the stigma? Because I feel that some people also relapse because then nobody accepts me. So the individual, how does obia wajai addiction? How do you handle the stigma?
Okay, the individual. As for the individual, you see, you have to develop a thick skin, to forge forward. Sorry. Okay. To press on, okay, because it is not easy to actually get to do anything successfully. So you would have the stigma coming, but knowing the future ahead of you, you just have to forget them and look forward to that future. And for we, the people in the community, we have to just show love, okay? For me, I'm always nice to people because I always tell myself that what if I were the one?
Exactly.
The situations, the circumstances around which they are addicted, how sure am I that if I had those same circumstances around me, I wouldn't be addicted to?
Exactly.
So this is how we all have to look at it. How sure are you that if the things that they have gone through, you had gone through, you wouldn't be like them?
They've been worse off.
Yes. So let us all have a positive outlook and let us all love and show kindness towards them so that they can stop. When they are doing that, it's not just them who have the bad effect, but us too. Don't think that you are stigmatizing somebody who is alcoholic and you think that you are free from it. Somebody, your child may be looking at him. Your child you are not drinking. Nobody in your family is drinking. But your child will see that man, the way he walks, and when they feel like, that man, the way he walks, okay, let me go and try. You know, people are curious. Exactly. So don't ever think that it's an individual thing. It's not an individual thing. It can go a long way to affect you too. Yes.
Okay, so in the school, today we are doing more school because we have a school person. In the school, if somebody is an addict to anything and the children seem to have found out and they are teasing the other one, I've heard of instances where one child will not let the parent bring him or her to school. But they do get in because the woman is so big. My friends are going to tease me. So let's say that in fact they have found out that your dad or your mom is an alcoholic or an addict. Display or school order. How do you handle the emotions of this child?
Okay. So you see, when it comes to the school setting, you see, we are there to educate and to correct. Okay. So if schools are educating the children right, then in the first place, there won't be anything teasing. In fact, I've never seen my children laugh at anybody.
Okay.
Not
how that?
They are from 1, the oldest there now is 7 years. Okay. But they don't tease anybody. You fall down and you see the rest coming
around you. Wow.
So it is about how we raise them. It is about how we tell them. You see, so we make them to understand the different aspects of life. So you see, with this new curriculum, when we are teaching the children all about me, okay, so the child, myself, the child gets to know the individual differences. I am dark, you are fair, I walk straight, somebody is a cripple, and all that, and it's all part of life, and you do not have to laugh at anybody. In fact, teasing my own children, my school, no. And you see, we create songs to make them be there for each other. Okay. I'm happy that you came here. Wow. When I go home, I miss you. I want to come see you the next day. You see, we have children who are just timid. They don't even want to open up. So we say, hold somebody. Tell them that you love them. Put your hands together and give a hug. Then they hug themselves. Oh, you see? Okay. So now they all begin to come up. When we receive them at the gate, we are receiving them with sounds and shouts. Let's say one of my child is Gideon. Gideon, you are welcome. Gideon, like, you see, nobody even has the eyes to see your mom. And your mom is even dancing along. So you see, it is about the training that we are giving to the children. Okay, it's about the training that we are giving to the children. If we train them right, they will not grow up teasing anybody. Personally, my life, I've never teased anybody.
That's beautiful.
Growing up Growing up, my mother brought me, when I remember life, my mother brought me to live at Moshizongo in Kumasi.
Kumasi, yeah.
And you see, I'm an Ashanti.
Okay.
And I live with Moshi, Gushi, and all that, but it was a communal life. And you know, growing up as a girl, the way does that, who did you be at them? Because of pel, now we did at them, or better will cram mine, ubedi nature. So they make us believe that if somebody says he loves you and you don't love the person, don't talk.
Insult.
If you insult the person will make you rather follow the person like a dog. So me, I've never insulted somebody. I don't tease. And so, who will be now serena? I did I was serena. No, so
okay.
So okay. So these children, we won't tell them that when you laugh at people, you have the same thing come to you. But we want them to understand that such is life. We are different in many ways, and we have to all accept our differences. Okay. Yes.
So then I think that the curriculum should target them when they are down there.
Yes.
To accept ourselves. So we don't wait till they are in university and we are now going to teach them.
The curriculum is actually targeting them when we are, because you see that this time round, the areas that we are doing, we are looking at an individual. Then we are looking at my local community. We are looking at my family values. So, you know, each child and the family that they are coming from and the values from there. So we bring all those values together. So we give them the universal values. You realize that, okay, so love is a universal value. But you go to some families and they have some other values that they have placed. Some family, you just have to become a doctor, a white collar job. You see, and some families, like my family, you can become a farmer and we all rally around you. You see, so yes, the curriculum is actually trying to make changes with these new children. Yes,
it will really help, so that we don't wait till they are old and
yes.
Okay, so we've dealt with the individual, we've dealt with the family. Now let's look at the church and other social settings. Now we have a lot of groups. We have a lot. So how does the church also play a role in breaking this stigma? Because people tend to put a lot of trust in God first and then the church. They want to come and then be accepted. But you realize that, well, people come and even the church. So what is the role of the church in breaking this addiction stigma?
The role of the church has always been the same. they will preach, okay, but this time around they can go extra mile to have a committee on maybe recreation and rehab or something where they are actually focused on people who have that such issues of addiction, where they get them busy. Because you see, if they are not busy, if they are idle. They go back to it. Then whatever it's their problem, if it is a job that they don't have, then the church can engage them to be doing something, to be fetching, so that they don't go to it. So the church, the old preaching, then the next thing they can have groups of volunteers who actually bring them together, educate them, even visit them occasionally, call them to check up on them and encourage them so they are able to.
Okay. So how about Ghana as a whole? So let's what other things can the government do to break the stigma, apart from all that? If there's anything the nation can also do together.
Okay. First is education.
Okay.
So through the appropriate institution, maybe NCCA or so through the appropriate institutions, they do a lot of education. Maybe have volunteers even going from home to home and create sketches and telecasts and even air on radios. Okay. Then maybe have an institution and toll-free line where people can call in and tell them that, okay, so I'm addicted to something, I want to stop, but I do not have the help, or I do not know how to go about it, so help me. Then just like the check on the alcoholic beverage adverts, okay, then the burning down of the weed farms as they do. Well, the burning down of the weed farm. I'm not actually saying that they should burn down. You see, we shouldn't promote it.
Okay.
For me, no, because there are so many other areas that we can tap revenues that we have not even looked at yet. So I'm not going to promote that we can grow weed, and because as we grow trying to get revenue from it, others too would also want to. But maybe when somebody has already grown it and it is already grown, then instead of burning, they can get security on it and maybe harvest, and it is a national good or something instead of burning. Yeah, something like that. So, okay, so that's then checks on individuals and groups. We are all in the communities, and we know the corners that they are selling all those things. We are all aware.
Exactly.
But we may not report, because how are we sure that we will be protected? So the government can, through its institutions, protect the individuals who are ready to provide the security apparatus with such informations, and also equip the security apparatus to also really do their work with impartiality.
Yeah.
I mean, they should be well resourced. They know economy. They know.
They know. So it is not one man's job.
No.
Because the effect of addiction is national.
Yes, it
If you have people, 20% of the people drunk and cannot work, that is revenue going down the drain, and a lot of other vices too are promoted. So I also think that the government can set up more facilities where people can just go. Some people just need somebody to talk to, like you said. And for some of these addicts, you may have to admit them specially, detoxify them, make sure that the thing is out of their system before you expose them to the community. Maybe more of such private facilities would help. The burden on government is already
Maybe
too much.
NGOs too can go
Exactly.
into that area. Then individual clubs too. These days we have many groups. Even if you're a group of 20 on WhatsApp, you can still do something.
Exactly.
Even if you're a group of 10, you can still do something. So the many WhatsApp groups
that we have
and their admins, over to you. You can look at this area and do something to help the country.
Okay, all right. So one last question for us to discuss. How do you manage a spouse who has an addictive problem? Your husband or wife has this problem that maybe they want to stop or not, but you realize that this thing is hurting the marriage or the family. How do you help such a spouse?
You identify the root cause. How did they start? Okay, so if they are doing it because they tasted when they were young and they are now addicted, or because of peer influence. If it is peer, so it's always making the addiction, whatever they are addicted to, inaccessible.
Okay.
By identifying the root cause. Okay, so some people, they tasted it and just that they are addicted. So for that, a lot of love and conscientizing, telling the person how it's a loss of revenue and how it affects you and how you love the person. So if the person also wants to love you in return, then it is good for that person to do away with that. And if it is about peer, then you try to separate the person from the peer. If it is about men, some men, when they are broke, they drink. So I said men. So women, if your husband is broke and he drinks, then that is when you have to tell him that, you say, honey, I do not love you just because you have to take care of us, but I love you because you're my husband and I'm supposed to love you. So even if you're not having money, drinking doesn't bring the money. It actually also takes away. So
Our money,
please be
yeah.
strong. Don't worry. Everything is going to be fine. And I'm going to be here behind you. And we are going to go through this together. You see, those sweet thoughts. And when they feel that, yes, somebody indeed loves them, they also do not want to hurt the person.
Exactly.
And they are able to tone down and gradually stop. The very bad thing you would not want to do is to attack them. Hey, Kwame, what's that called? And then so when you do that,
Kill their little ego
you see,
left.
when you do that,
Exactly.
to be even higher, so that we didn't know. But okonomba, or your husband dear, and now your year. To me, to mention but you'll be only need dated dear. To me, I'll be to my
Just step aside.
By your spouse, you are going to account to God about your spouse. So when you see that the person has gone to high, whatever high, to
look across.
to bam no who to bam no. Na kaguna sum say, "Oh, me who say wakoye high. O ma me ra who say wasaye. Pacho menye biom why?" Then the word they are inside. Akoko ne kakra. Oyo ba. All massage and kakra bema. Opepa no how many duane papa bi edi. You see, then you talk to them. When you do it, you hate me.
Wow.
When they trust that you love them,
They will not go back.
when they trust that you love them, then they have to love you in return. And if they have to love you in return, doing it hurts you,
So
then they have a strong reason to stop. But when they are not assured of your love, it is so difficult to stop.
Have to accept them however they are. That's the basic step in trying to break an addictive behavior. Please stay tuned.
We steal from people who steal from us.
African movies on Adwa TV comes your way with great movies from your favorite stars.
Any amount you want, I'll pay.
Are you cheating? No! How could I?
Majid Michelle, Mercy Johnson, Lil Wayne, Jackie Appiah, and many more.
Can't you follow my footsteps? Hey! Look at you, what is wrong with you?
We are following your footsteps.
Oh, don't,
Enjoy exciting latest African movies full of drama, romance, action, comedy, and so much more only on Adwa TV African Movies. Adwa TV, bringing good things to life.
For the best of educative, informative and entertaining kids show in the areas of choreography, reading connect, craft work, singing and dancing, join me Nanyama Collising on Kids House. This is every Saturday noon, only on Adwa TV.
Lovely viewers, if you have just tuned in again, this is Family Life here on Adwa TV, and we are discussing managing addictions. Ms. Sark, we are rounding up the discussion very soon. It has been very insightful, very, very insightful contributions from you. So before we went for the break, you were saying how you can manage your spouse if he has an addictive problem. How about if your child, now let's move from the small ones to the big
Grown-up.
guys, SHS, JHS. Now you even have boarding houses for primary and JHS as well as SHS. They go and they come and they seem to have gotten stuck to something. They are always in their room. They are always looking into things, and you suspect that this my child is doing things. Oko school na nye say not here, but obaye no or sasakakra. How do you manage such a child? Or if they openly come to you, if you are lucky and they openly come to you and say, somebody introduced me to this in school, and I think I'm dependent on it now. How do you accept this as a parent?
Okay. The same love, the same love treatment you use for a spouse
Okay.
is the same you use for a child. So you first accept the condition and expose the child to the consequences of it, and take the child through counseling. You can seek for professional help for the child from counseling. Professional counselors can talk to the child. Now we have child psychologists who can also talk to them. Then when you take the child, if you have to take the child back to school, maybe you can take the child away from the boarding house as a way to separate the child from the source of the addiction.
Yeah.
But if it is fact that you can't do anything, you still have to take the child back to the school, then you can get somebody in charge of the child, as in get a teacher to be aware that this is the situation of your child, and therefore the person should keep an eye on your child. And you can as well talk to your child and show that beautiful future to the child, where the child needs to do away with the addiction to get to that beautiful future.
Okay. So gone were the days that if you did something bad, Okonomu Papa and Son, they'll take you to school and beat you in front of the whole school. I think that these days we don't hear of it so much because
Yes, you see, my favorite quote, as the maximum goes by, the wise do correct their mistakes. So you see, as things are happening, we look at the pros and cons and we make amends. So we have realized that those things in the past also were again hurting. Okay, so even though the child may stop A, the child may now do B, because let's say the child was a truant and the child was keen. Now the child comes to school, but the child becomes timid. So the confidence is killed. Okay. So yes, gone are those days. These days, everything has to be done in love and with solution in mind.
Beautiful. So we'll discuss a very quick problem, not really related to addiction. Then when we are done, you can give your final submissions on addiction. There's this young girl who sold her mother's property to support her boyfriend to school outside. And then when the guy is done with school, he decides to marry a friend of the girls. And then they are all staying outside. And this girl hears of it, and it seems like her whole world is shattered. It's coming to an end. What advice will you give to such a girl and people going through similar situations?
I'm sorry for her pains. I'm sorry for her hurts. If I knew I could cry small with you, then I'd ask you to get up and we pop champagne, then we move on. Yeah, that's how I do it. It's okay to cry, just for some short time, pop some champagne and move on. Okay, so before you actually take care of somebody with the hope that the person will marry you, it's wrong. Okay, because taste changes. It's only God who is an unchangeable change. But we change. So sometimes you think that you are in love, but until you meet another person, you never know what you were feeling is not love. So before you spend on somebody, be sure that what you are spending on the person because the person doesn't have, and you are in a capacity to help, and you are helping such that if the person should make it and still doesn't even recognize you, you will be fine.
Okay, good.
If you will not be fine, keep your resources. If you will be fine, give it, and don't hope that the person will come back to marry you. So for this young lady, life is more important than anything.
Yeah.
It takes human being to produce wealth.
Property, yeah.
So if you have lost that, it is not the end of life. Put yourself together. Decide to become better than that gentleman has left you. Let him go, come back, and find you doing better than
person.
him. Let's look at Jacob and Esau. Jacob was blessed.
Yeah.
Esau was cursed. Yeah. They all went down. But Esau decided to shake off the yoke from his neck. And when they came back to meet, and Jacob thought that he should compensate Esau, Esau said, "Niame wono edoso emame." Let him go, come back and find out that when you say
that he left you. Yeah.
You see, and for me, I'm always in competition with my tomorrow. Today, as I'm here, the next day I'm better. Make us the day that sense, make us means some na make an ebeye de. Mini pedriano be who say I fe. Me bobre one na me who say I fe cry. It is a personal decision. So no matter what has happened to you in life, make that personal decision to become better than today. If you will take care of somebody and know that if the person doesn't come back, you would cry, you will be hurt, don't do it. You see, when we talk about broken hearts, sometimes I don't get it. If I date him and I find him not meeting my standards, will I stay there with him?
Oh.
So what is it that if you don't meet somebody's selection criteria and he has left, you think that that person is wicked?
Broken your heart.
Let us be sincere and honest. If you found him unworthy, you would leave him. Oh, so yes. If he has found you unworthy, maybe you are worthy, but per his standard, you are not worthy. Let him go. Let him go. Live your life and make the best out of it. There is somebody for everyone.
Everybody.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Very beautiful submissions there. So if you are taking care of a guy because you think he's going to marry you, it's better to keep your money. Maybe you should educate yourself. Yes. Go and chill with the money.
The same thing applies to a man. You see, if you're a man too, you are taking care of her. Take care of her because she's in need and you are helping, not because you want her to go back, come and marry you. Because naturally, we women, we look up. It is men who can look down. So, a very rich man can look down and bring in a village girl. Exactly. But me, a woman, if I become a big woman, I still want to look up to my husband.
Yeah.
So in few occasions, some few women are able to make that decision that I made this person take care of me, and for that reason, I have to, at all costs, honor that promise that I gave to that person. So I'm speaking to 3 people here. You that you are taking care of that person, the woman, if you think you are expecting him to come and marry you, know that one day he may not come back and marry you. If he doesn't marry you, your world shouldn't come to an end. Yeah. You, that man, taking care of that woman, one day, be sure that if she doesn't marry you, you will let her go. You will not think of killing her or doing anything, because that is life. Then you, that man or that woman, that you too, the person say, I love you. And that is why the person is giving you the money to go to school or to do business, and you have taken. Please, one good thing deserves another. You know that the person says, I love you. That is why the person gave to you. So even if someday you find some reason not to love the person, so find some reason to love the person and stick to the person. If you decide to do it, you can do it. Yes. So make a decision. See, love is a decision. Love is a decision. Yeah. So make that decision that this gentleman has taken care of me when I didn't have. And for that reason, I want to stay with him. And where there is a will, the willpower, will come.
Yeah, but I also think that this guy, at least he has been truthful. I can't marry you. I've married someone else. There are some people who will not tell the woman, and they will marry her and will make her feel that I'm doing you a favor by marrying you.
Yes, you see, sometimes they do not even think that they will marry you and maltreat you. They think that they have to just marry you because they owe you one. Okay, so when they marry and the compatibility is not working, then now the friction and all that. Okay, so to all the men and to all the women that you know that that person that you are courting doesn't love you, why are you forcing that person to marry you and telling the person that my love alone is enough for us? Please, that person will not be happy. You too, you won't be happy. Why are you doing that? Who told you that there's no one there for you?
For him, yeah.
There is somebody there that you can be happy with. If that person doesn't love you, regardless of the investment that you have made in the person, let the person go and find that person that you will be happy with, and that person will be happy with you. Don't decide to get pregnant so that somebody will marry you. Okay, some people are very sensitive, like my husband. He's sensitive, like he cares. So for some people like that, but nani nje also weni nje intina eden na waye aware na keke aware do aware papa ede if you studio have me kno be family aware papa ede
no. Wow. It has been very wonderful with you discussing addiction and how to break it, and I can see that the last bit is really your area because the way you are going into things.
Yes,
we'll have you more when we are doing more of such shows.
I do marriage, I do love, and I do sex.
Wow. Sex is good.
Yes, it's
Teach
good.
on sex is good. So your final submissions on the addiction, and if you want to say some shout outs to somebody.
Okay. Addiction is a problem, but if you decide to cure it, treat it,
it is possible.
It is possible. So make up your mind to put it behind you. Don't cover it. Make it known to people who can offer support. You know the people that you are with, and you know those who are loving. And so you can, even if it is your husband or your wife, and you know that that person is not that loving enough to support you, don't open up to that person. Find somebody that is loving enough and ready to support you. Aside that, these days you can do it yourself. Look for information on the net. Google how to cure addiction. Read journals, read magazines,
watch programs
like this family life, and you will get ideas. Okay, then you can get counseling from your community, maybe church, mosque. Find out the counselors in the community. Even go to the TV station, come to Adwa TV, and find out the counselor that they have been talking to. Ask that you get the counselor's contact so that you are helped. Okay, then you can also get involved in social activities to keep you busy. Stay away from the people that make you want to get back to addiction. And if it is a problem of self-esteem, job loss, and anything, know that no condition is permanent. There is no harm in trying, and you do yourself no good by being addicted because you are not getting anything solved. So why don't you put it away and begin to march forward and see what may come out of that. So, and for those of us who may realize the addiction by ourselves, or those addicted would open up to us, let us support them. Let us show them love. Love is the first step to helping them to heal. So, then shout out.
Yes, please.
First to my husband, over for some more. You know.
You know that.
To my father, Reverend Prince Ohina Asari. Daddy, I thank you and I love you. To my father figure and the love doctor, Pastor Claude Mann. He trained me.
Oh, okay.
Daddy, thank you. Your girl is at Adore TV. And to my ladies, LTM members, I love you. Then to Nobel High School at Amasaman. The vision is really big. And if you live in that area, you better join the vision right now. Or you will see the vision there and you wish you were part of it. You will come and join, but you would have missed a lot. So bring your child to Nobel High School and you would love it. I'm Afrafanto Mami.
Oh, beautiful.
So Afrafanto Mami is Afrafanto Beats. The executive lead. So for all your beat needs, everything, especially our waist beats, they are sexy.
Wow.
They fix marriages.
Wow. Wow.
Our waist beats fix marriages, and we have the night glow where you know that come to us and let us sort you. Okay, and to my mom, Juliana Amo, I love you so much. She's taking care of my kids while I'm here. God bless everyone, and thank you for inviting me.
Well, viewers, all too soon, we have come to the end of another very beautiful discussions here on family life. I would like to assure you that the preferred way to stay hydrated is to drink Migo water. Migo water is located at Dodowa Amanfrom Junction. Their slogan is, as the name goes, Akono Akono. Their phone numbers are 0543 716770 or 055 3921 So addiction can be broken and the power is in your hands. Break the silence and it will not have effect on you anymore. This has been Family Life here on Adwa TV. My name is Asantua Dramadu. I would like to acknowledge the following people. First of all, Miss Sark. Thank you so much. I love your name, and then thank you for making time to be with us. And you viewers, thank you for making a date with us every Saturday morning. I would also like to acknowledge the producer of the show, Anfred, and the director, Aisha. I would also like to acknowledge Lizzie and Shaggy for handling the cameras for us today. And then the great guys in the MC are Mr. Dan, Joshua, Nana Kwajo, and Lizzie. I would also like to say a very big thank you to my husband. Thank you so much for the support. And I'll also say a very big happy birthday to myself. God bless me for for the many years that he is adding on. As we grow, we are getting better. Keep watching the rest of our programs. Thank you.